Hi, everybody. Welcome to the team call. It is August 17th, 2017. 17 is my favorite number, by the way, so we all know. But tonight we're going to talk about overcoming objections and then also like being a rock star recruiter. I'm going to share a tool with you guys that I kind of found through Beachbody that I've never seen before. I also want to just give you some tips that I've learned along the way from recruiting. It has not been my strong suit this year because I didn't feel like I was great at developing new coaches, but I've recently started training them and got that fire back in me. And I want to make sure that you guys know that it's easier to recruit than you think, and it's okay to be nervous about training a new coach, but that's the best way to learn. You know, if you're nervous about it, you don't feel like your ducks are in a row, it's the best way to learn because you already got a fire under your butt. You got a new coach, you got to figure it out, right? So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about overcoming objections first, and then we'll go into recruiting. So I actually have a presentation. Have any of you seen my overcoming objections presentation or been on a call with me? You probably have. Maybe, Jamie? Okay. So we're going to go over some of that, but I also asked some of the team members, and I would love if you guys chime in about some of the objections that you're getting, because I probably have gotten them, maybe not all of them at this point, but 3 years in, I know that I've heard a lot, and I just want to make sure that sometimes we have discussions with everybody else because somebody's going to spin it a different way that maybe I would, and I don't necessarily always have the right answers, but somebody else could have dealt with it and figured out a way through it. So let's go ahead and talk about some of those. I do have a presentation for you guys too that I will share with, and the first thing is money. Let's talk about the objection with money. Money is tough right now, I think, especially because I don't know why this always comes to mind with me, but it doesn't seem like an expensive time of year because it's like the fall and it's not that crazy. It's before Christmas, but it is because a lot of people have gone through their tax money. They spent a lot of money on vacations for the summer, and then they're going back to school, so they're automatically spending money. But at the same time, there's something to be said about people wanting to have routines. So sometimes when you're getting objections about money, you have to think about where people are at in their lives. There's 2 times people get to start over in a year. That's the first of the month or the first of the year and this time of year when kids go back to school. And I'm not just saying like everybody, like I don't have a kid in school right now. I don't go back to school, but I feel like that's the way the world kind of works. Like everybody feels like they have a fresh start. Ever since I started coaching, that's just the vibe I got. So that says a lot to what we can provide people because they feel like they can start over. So even if they are tight with money, we all know that we weren't in the best financial situation to start, but what gave us the drive to start was to want to change and to want to develop a new habit. People are not feeling great about themselves, you guys. Everybody indulges around the summer. You get a little crazy. You get, like this is the first summer I ever actually like really lost a lot of weight, except for when it was my wedding before that, but prior to Beachbody, I was like everybody else. We all gain weight. And so first thing I want to tell you about money is that if you have objections about money, your best bet is to write them all down. Like literally write them down. Anybody that says, I can't afford it right now, see how many you get, and then cater to those people in their lives and think about where you were with money. Because if you can gear your posts around pre and post Beachbody from an emotional standpoint of like, man, I used to think I couldn't afford healthy food, but little did I know, I ended up saving money in the long run. Because what I get a lot is people are like, I just can't afford Shakeology. Like, I don't have a lot of money like you. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I raise my kid full time. Like, I don't know where you think I have all this money pouring out of me from, but whatever. But think about it. We went over our budgets and we fit in that $3, that $4 a day. So think about that stuff from an emotional standpoint and what it's done for you in long term. Like, how many, even think about it, look back in your budget, how many dollars did it save you per month? And freaking post about that. You guys post about it in your challenge groups and post about it on your wall, because it's going to speak to someone, even if it doesn't speak to the person that you're talking to right away. Another thing that I do for pulling up my presentation for money is doing the feel, felt, found. You guys all familiar with that? I'm pretty sure Jamie is. I'm sure. Where's my presentation? I don't know why I'm talking like that. I'm really sorry. Here it is. Okay. So one of the things that comes up with money, I'll go back over this, but a lot of times, here's something that I would say in particular. Sounds great, because they're sold on the whole program thing. They're like, great, I'm all in, and then they ask a price, right? They always ask the price, and I try to avoid that, but I'll talk about that in a second. But they say, that sounds great, but I don't have the money right now. Here's something I would say. I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same way when I heard about coaching or challenge packs. You can say that this is kind of geared towards coaching. I know it's scary, but trust me, I don't know if you have read or heard my story, and insert your story there. And your story doesn't have to be long, but would be mine. My husband and I were planning a wedding and living paycheck to paycheck at the time I was offered this opportunity. So I didn't really have dimes or nickels to rub together, but I did believe and know that the products worked. So I made a ton of sacrifices, including selling 2 pairs of shoes on eBay and, going down on your groceries, like no more Starbucks, no more energy drinks at gas stations. And the first month, you could talk about this or whatever, and just talk about how you ended up saving a certain amount of money. And I don't know if you guys don't feel like you need to lie, but you could just say it like this. Like, sometimes people speak in numbers, and you could say I was drinking 2 energy drinks a week, or however you want to do it, at $3 a week. This is how it worked. And say, I know it's scary, but sometimes you have to do something out of your comfort zone to see new results and to get to where you want to be. Because at the end of the day, you can see that I shared my story, and I can share this with you guys. But you're going back to the fact that they're saying they don't have money, yet they want to change. Because that's what makes us want to shake them, right? You're like, wait, you just told me that you're miserable, you have anxiety, you're overweight, you don't like how you feel, but you don't have the money. So that means that they're coming to you saying, tell me I have the money. It's hard to process like that, but that's what they're saying to you. Another way, break down the cost for them. Say something like, we have this all access challenge pack, guys. If you say $8 a month to anybody, they're gonna listen. Well, you're in luck this month. We have a program that's on special. It's actually called a sales bundle. And that would include a workout program, meal prep, portion control, on demand, for however long, if you want to set them up for a month, 3 months, a year. And then you get one-on-one support, which includes me. You get Shakeology, which is our superfood shake. And, it's typically $130 for the first-time buyers, but it's a huge savings in the long run. You're saving on shipping. You're saving on this and that. And I would just make sure that you break it down for them, like what they're getting. It's not just like a workout program and they're going to be thrown to the wayside. And if you want to break down it even further, tell them how much that Shakeology is going to be per day. Okay, worst case scenario. This is actually my favorite one. When I first started, I gave myself a time limit. I said, if I go all out and it doesn't work for 2 months, which is actually realistic, that's 60 days, then I'll cancel my account, which is free of charge in the first place. And what's the worst thing that could happen? I got a good workout. I tried a superfood shake and I got a little healthier. That's not really the worst thing that could happen, right? So just kind of make it into like a joke, depending on how that person is. If they're very serious, maybe that's not the best thing to say to them. But I think sometimes people tend to overcomplicate it. Like, they're so willing to freaking buy a $40 LuLaRoe sweater but they won't drink a shake that's going to make them healthier. Like, how the fuck does that work? You know, how does that even compare? It doesn't. So sometimes you just have to get people to look at things a little bit different. Sorry for swearing. You know me. This is another key one that a lot of people forget about, and it's the 30-day money-back guarantee. I never don't talk about this. I remember my first 3 months of the business, I hit Success Club every single time, and I feel like still I don't know how I did that. That was all by chance. I didn't even know what I was doing. But I remember having a call with Carl, and I remember him saying this. He was like, do you guys hear that? He's like a pre-recorded thing, but he talks about the 30-day money-back guarantee. And it's like, he's so right. He really drilled it home how there's not many companies that offer their money back completely without any questions asked within the first 30 days. So again, it's a worst case scenario thing. So trust me, I get it. I don't know if you knew this, but my husband and I were planning a wedding. We are in so much defaulted debt, blah, 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 on top of living expenses. So I understand being tight more than anyone. But besides that, I also hit a breaking point. I knew I had to start with myself. I knew I had to change with fitness or eating, and I had to do something. So my coach told me about the 30-day money-back guarantee. So, you know, you can drink your whole bag of Shakeology, and if you hate it, then without even any question, even from me, you can get your money back. All of your money back without anything. So it kind of lets them know that there's really no tie to you. There's no tie to, you know, because they're going to think about it. Think about when somebody says money back guarantee, they're going to not only think, okay, wow, it must work or whatever. They're not really going to question it. They're also going to think more of you because they know you're not really in it for the money, so to speak. And it lets them know that we're a good, honest company who just wants people to make a difference. And you can mention that as well. The last thing is priorities and comparison. And this is an example. Yeah, a lot of people think it's a high cost up front, right? Because it seems like that. I just got done telling my mom about this when she was thinking about buying oils. I'm like, shit, should be a rep for them too. But it actually saved me money in the long run because I was paying for so many useless fees. So a gym fee, how many people do you know out there that have gym fees and don't go? That you barely use with no support, no accountability. And because I didn't care about those tiny little fees coming out, I never really committed. So when I invested $100 and some and heard, you know, it was hard-earned money, you bet my butt I was going to give it all for my 30 days. You made it a priority, okay? So stuff like that is really going to help when people tell you they don't have money, because at the end of the day, guys, it's not about money. It's really not. You have to think of it in a sense that, like, if you really want something, really, really want it, you will do anything in your godforsaken power to talk your husband into it. Like, if you want, I just got done talking my husband into this $100 rug that I want, and he's like, no. And now I'm getting it. If I could only be that determined about freaking anything else in life, that's the way it has to be. So that's a stupid analogy, but you kind of got to bring that little stuff out of people where they want it that bad. And use funny analogies. Be yourself. You don't have to use my words, but I hope some of these work for you. Does anybody have anything else that they like to use for money? Whoop, sorry, that's a different presentation. No? Money back guarantee is golden.
I definitely forgot about the money back guarantee recently. I don't know. I used to mention it, but I think it just like slipped my mind recently.
Yeah.
But what you said about convincing like significant others, I've had that before. Like, oh, I have to talk with my husband and see if it's okay. I remember when I first signed up just to do a challenge group, I didn't even like tell my husband, like, because I wanted to change so much that I'm like, I'm doing it. Like, I don't even care. And he wouldn't have cared anyway. But yeah, the fact that I was like, I don't care what he says, I'm changing for me. So and sometimes when I hear that, that's like what goes through my head. And then I want to be like, no.
You know what? I think that's most people. Like, I mean, honestly, I'm the type of person that would rather just go and buy something that I know he's going to tell me no for anyways, and then explain my way out of it later. That's just how I roll. In this case, I couldn't because everything was so tight, but it's true. And I don't know, that is probably a good piece of advice. Like, if you really want it that bad, I don't know, that's not a very easy conversation to have, but I don't think you really need to talk to your husband about getting in shape and getting good looking. I mean, he's probably going to be like, hell yeah, or whatever. But no, good call. Cool, the money thing. All right, I got a couple more. I'm sorry, I have to look at this conversation because people don't see the value of Shakeology. I have some tips for that. A lot of people that have struggled through infertility and stress. Infertility is really hard, so I'll just bring that one up. I've dealt with a lot of people that have infertility issues, and the one thing I want to bring up to you guys is somebody that's very, very like close to our team, and she's been going through it. Her name's, you guys know her, Courtney Anderson. She's been going through infertility for, I want to say like 3 or 4 years. So she started a network of women. It's called the Infertility Tribe. And I have put in probably like 24 people in her group. She's willingly let people like go there. She has a set of rules set up, guys. So this would be my suggestion for that. If anybody's ever dealing with this, first of all, don't fucking give them any advice. You just listen to people. Infertility is the toughest thing on the planet, I would say. And it's so common now, which is even more sad. So just be a friend, listen to them, and offer them there, and then reach out to me, and I'll talk to Courtney. I was actually in that group for a while, and then I had a baby, so I felt guilty. So I decided to remove myself, but Courtney like wants that support. She needs that support, and I think that she would keep it open because she knows that place is so close to her heart. And gosh, like, tell somebody that, or recommend them search the infertility hashtag on Instagram so they can find networks of people, because the best thing you can do for somebody who's going through an infertility state is to just be there for them and offer them more support than you can, especially if you can't relate to it. So there's no real objection for that one. I mean, you can't be like, oh, just do it, you're going to have a baby then. Like, that's I don't even mean to joke about that. Like, there's nothing we can do, I don't feel like. Do you guys agree with me? I mean, what do you say? Just be a friend, right? Okay. I saw stress of money. I mean, there's a bunch of objections on here. Sorry, I keep opening the wrong thing. That's probably annoying. But one of the things you guys need to know is objections are really just a defense mechanism. So our industry is easy in the sense that we'll always have a job because people always need help with weight loss and finding, the right nutrition and the right fitness program to get in shape. But it's also a very vulnerable business, because people are trusting you. So a lot of people don't want to talk about their weight. A lot of people, it's like that scary thing. No one wants to talk about money or weight, or like it's something weird on the wall. So it's typically a defense mechanism when people are giving you objections, and that's like almost like a cry for help. It's kind of like dealing with like a kid who's troubled, or a boy who you can't break through to them, like, with their emotions or whatever. So you got to really get people's trust. That's why we run free groups. That's why we say be a friend first, because people are always going to give you objections if they don't feel like they can 100% know what your intuition is. So know that it's not always you. And it's not something you're saying or something you're doing. It's probably because you have to break through some of those layers and those walls that they've built up. And it's always just an objection. Sometimes people take objections very personal, and they take it to heart, and they take it as if they're not meant to do this coaching thing. But in all reality, you've come such a long way and come through so many of your own objections that you have to remember that. Objections are a normal, healthy challenge. everyone that's a coach likes a freaking challenge. If you've done any of Autumn's programs, Sean T, you press play any single time, you are up for a challenge on a daily basis. So objection should be like a good freaking workout. You're starting a new workout program. Go into it like that. Go into it like, okay, I hear her, I hear what he's saying, and I want to get through to this. Like, you want to get the best results possible for that person, just like you want to get the best possible results when you start a new fitness program. Objections are very normal. Obviously, everything I've been saying, objections are bound to happen. For those people who don't really have objections, you kind of wonder, like, okay, are you just saying yes because you have money to blow? You know, like, they're gonna happen. Something's gonna happen in that natural conversation where even if they're quick to sign up and they just love the whole vibe and everything, eventually they're gonna be like, what? So just know it's human nature, and it's bound to happen that something comes across, even if it's a fee later on or whatever, that it's gonna come up. So just expect it. Expecting it sometimes helps you get through it. It's something that everyone experiences, no matter what coach, no matter what level. Everybody from Melanie Mitro to Bonnie Engel to a very new coach who starts, they all get the same objections. The difference between the people that are really successful is the reason why they're better at it is because they've asked more people. They've done more invites. They've gone through the ringer, and they've screwed up a million times on knowing what to say or how to get to know people. And that's why they get good at it. Because you're never going to get good at something if you don't practice it consistently. It's not a no. It's a no, I'm not ready right now. I have worked on people for years and years and years. Natalie White was one of those. I mean, I had her on my list since I signed up for coaching, and she didn't sign up till 2 years later. There's a lot of people that you will see that come around later on. Objections are really just a learning experience. I know as you grow as a leader and you have an opportunity to learn from objections, and not only that, like, share them. Don't be afraid of failing. Don't be afraid of sharing, you know, hey, I screwed up with this objection, because maybe you can help somebody else, or maybe somebody can give you some better feedback, and maybe that failure could work differently on another person. Okay. It's definitely not something you give up over. If your family tells you no, my family doesn't even know. My brothers literally hate talking about my job. Still, 3 years later, that's hard because I love them. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys are kind of chubby. Like, I would love to help you out. Just kidding. But I'm like, you know, if I gave up, like, what if one day one of them knocked on my door and said, hey, dude, like, I think I need to do a fitness program. So don't give up over somebody saying no to you, or 7 people saying no to you, or 700 people saying no to you, because that one moment of glory is going to be worth it. It's just like working that hard and, you know, not busting that meal plan or skipping a workout or whatever your end all be all motivation is. That's how sweet the victory is going to be. And don't be fearful that you'll fail, that you'll get rejected, and that you're not a good coach, because that's not it. All of these examples are why. Okay. Anybody else have any? Like, this is a good one. There's one for time. A lot of these are geared towards coach responses too. So this is going to help you when it comes to recruiting. So I'm going to go ahead and just probably bump this up and re-tag you guys or repost it. The shake thing, I will go over this one because Shakeology is such an important thing, because everybody has something cheaper. I saw somebody say that they drink like the Costco one. What is it called? Ideal Lean or something? Okay. So the first thing that you got to know is you got to believe in it yourself. So what I would do is really try to educate yourself a little bit more on Shakeology, because it's going to help you in conversations, and it's just going to help reassure you as a human being that you're doing the right thing for your body. And then later, all of a sudden, it's going to start pouring out of your mouth at somebody at the right moment. So we don't talk about personal development for shits and giggles. We don't talk about product knowledge for shits and giggles. It's because eventually it sticks, and then all of a sudden you're saying it to people and you're impressed by yourself, and you're like, oh, damn, like, I know what I'm talking about. So Shakeology is, there's a bunch of training tools on it. I don't need to tell you guys that, but if you get the chance and you don't know what to read or what to do, just go ahead and Google it or get in the back office and do a training. So it's the best deal. Do I have to get the shake? Let's just say you get that. In fact, it's the best deal. I realize how sensitive money subject is because I know more than anyone that every penny counts. Can I almost tell you that you will want Shakeology after going through the challenge because you'll see everyone else's results. So it's almost like creating that like regret factor. You don't want other people to get better results than you just because they're drinking the shake. The workout itself is such and such, and Shakeology alone is $130 for customers and 25% off for coaches. But if you get the entire program, challenge, you get the challenge group support, the containers, the meal plans for only $10 more with the challenge pack. Or in this case, you can flip it around with the all access. I'm sorry, this is from a while ago, but you get my drift, and you can say, I'm telling you, friend, it's truly a no-brainer. I'm so glad my coach offered me this discount when I signed on. So it's, again, about the coach discount. I've always tried to frame up things with the coach discount because I knew I needed to get good at it. And I know that it's a better deal for people. It's not about me. It's about the fact that when they sign up with a challenge pack, they don't have to pay the fee, and that they're getting money off right away, and that they can cancel at any time, right? So when they're getting the best deal, you want to make sure that they know that the discount is the way to go. I'm breastfeeding, I'm pregnant. I heard somebody say this earlier. That was Jamie. I will truly always tell you to consult with your doctor, but we have hundreds of coaches on the team who use this pregnant and breastfeeding, and I just rave about it, including yours truly, because I used it. We also have videos, but sometimes that simple sentence is just enough for people to explore more. Another thing I offer them is the doctor's note for Shakeology. That's in the back office. I think I have it posted in our group too. But then we have a video from Lindsay Gray that's awesome because she actually ties in the 21-day fix. And then we have one from Kristen Martin, who was a coach on this team. Jen probably knows her, and so does Rachel. And that you probably know her too, Jamie. And then I have one as well. So we have 3, and you can always make your own, especially if you did it, or I'm sure you can Google one if you like one better. So I will post those for you guys as well. Okay, integrity. Just being real. If you're going to build a successful business, then yes, this is for coaches. How can you talk about people or about a shake and tell them the best things for them? Recommend it to others if you yourself don't know and love it. Now, if you have an allergy or something, that's a different story, but here's an example. I would never recommend a movie I hadn't seen. Would you? The shakes really solidify our integrity as being a product of the product, and I hope that makes sense. It's as simple as that. Sometimes we're like, oh no, you should drink it because it's gonna make you feel good and it's gonna make you whatever. Like, no, I hope that makes sense. It's just gonna solidify your integrity as a person, as a customer. But it's also like, integrity can also mean the 30-day money back guarantee. It can also mean just sharing a simple video and saying, hey, if you wouldn't mind, I would love if you watch this simple video. It really showcases the integrity that we have behind the product and how it speaks volumes to the people that love and use it, and shoot that video over to them about like, that one lady said, like, I don't eat a single vegetable. Like, that lady's awesome. Like, my dad started drinking it from that lady because he doesn't eat vegetables. Dead serious. It's a one-liner. The best results, truly, I wouldn't say this if I didn't mean it, but the only way you can guarantee the best results is if you have a shake as well. And we can all say that for a fact. Many people have a misconception, just like I did once, that fitness is all about your workout. But the biggest part of health and weight loss is that what you put in your body and the changes your body goes through when you fuel it properly. And that goes a lot for performance too, guys. Since I can't come to your house and make sure you're eating all your containers, at least I know at least once a day you're getting the nutrients that your body needs. Think about it this way. You wouldn't brush your teeth and expect the same results as someone who brushes their whole mouth, So just think of a funny way to put it. If the teeth thing is stupid, but that's how I am. So if you want to say something like, going to your, I don't know. I can't think of something right now. I'm kind of brain dead, but think of a way to spin it to them that they're going to get the best results. And that's going to be kind of a big objection overcomer in the long scheme of things. Okay. I wouldn't be a good coach. This is a good one. Someone read your message and then went ghost on you. This is a good one. I don't understand social media and I don't want to post on Facebook. Excuses are people's just like a limiting beliefs. I go over a lot of this, and objections are part of the job. So is there anything else you guys can think of? Like, I don't want to take up the whole call and go over this because I want to talk a little bit about recruiting, but can you guys hear my dog snoring next to me? Sorry. Okay.
This is kind of off the topic of Shakeology, but I was just kind of thinking yesterday that I don't promote Energize as much. And I was sitting next to a coworker of mine. I actually have several coworkers who drink Spark. And I know that there's read them, know that there's a lot of artificial things in there. And I just wanted to be like, do you know what's in that? and I didn't, but like how many people are doing that you can replace with like Energize? Because it's essentially like the same thing. I mean, they're drinking it for, a pick-me-up or for, like a little bit of extra energy. And I was just thinking that I need to do more of that. Like more of sharing my story with that or bringing samples. I don't know. But
yeah. You know what? That's a really good point. You could almost like, I guess I forget about that too, Jamie. Thank you for sharing that, because I think one of the things like us coaches do is first we learn how to eat clean. And that's the first thing we notice now is like we're big ingredient label readers. So you could almost make a post about that, like how you're so conscious of reading labels now that it really matters that like even the products that you use long term are things that you can read. And then that's kind of like sparking people's interest. And then you can almost say like, I'm so glad the pre-workout I drink now has ingredients. I know where they come from. And then maybe one of your spark people would be like, because I used to drink that shit actually. I did Advocare before I started Beachbody. I actually did Advocare while I was doing insanity workouts. And I had great results, but I had like 7 to 11 pills a day and I drank Spark. And it was one of those things that was so sugary that I didn't really care then. I didn't know much about clean eating, but it's kind of gross. It's like, tastes good, but it's not good for you. So I think that's a good call out. And however you want to phrase it, keep us posted. But there's a lot of people that drink Spark.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing about Advocare. They don't have a workout program to go with it. Do you ever ask them if they work out?
Oh, I know that some of them don't.
Yeah, they just do the food plan.
Or just that.
Yeah.
I do have another coworker who was, doing it and like selling it and promoting it, whatever. And she did lose a bunch of weight, but she was, working out on her own and trying to work out, but then she'd always fall off and
yeah.
So.
And like I have someone who, same thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Jamie, because the meal replacement shakes with Advocare, she was saying, she's like, well, because I gave her a sample of chocolate vegan, and she was like, this actually is 10 times better than the meal replacement shake with Advocare.
Yeah.
And she said that she felt completely different than she did when she drank those. So,
and
I gave her like 4 more samples.
Yeah. I just have a problem with people that are replacing all of their meals with liquid. Like once you stop, it's all going to come back. Like, don't you realize that you're not doing yourself any favor? You're like putting yourself back. Mm-hmm. And I had somebody who I think I was telling Carly and a couple other people about this the other day. She's like, how many shakes can I have a day? I'm like, well, you only need 1, but I think you're thinking of them in the wrong way. Like, you're not replacing your food with Shakeology. And that was just like a frustration for me, because this was somebody that I've talked to a long time ago, and she was like all on board and then decided, no, I'm going to do Slim Fast. And I'm like, And then now it's like come back, and it was just somebody that I'm like, I know you need help, but it's just like the mindset is not there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some people want the quick fix though too.
Yep.
I have someone who has bought Shakeology from me, and they just recently signed up for or started doing some Plexus Slim thing, whatever that is. I've never even heard of that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, you should know better.
Plexus, yeah. Plexus and Isogenics are basically just liquid. I mean, an Advocare you get to eat, but like I literally ate rice cakes. I remember being like a hangry biatch.
I just don't, I don't understand how people don't get that.
And you know what? I'm sure,
not eating food is not good for your body.
well, I think that's why they have us. I mean, I don't mean to like put down a bunch of other companies. And of course, we're not doing that. I think it's just about like the education piece, which just makes me, I don't know about you guys, but I don't look at it as a frustration. I look at it like, wow, like I have that knowledge and I want to make sure that other people know that. Like that's my mission in life. Like that's my mission in life, to know that you don't have to substitute it with a pill or eat less or, you know, do something. I mean, make that your mission statement for yourself, and that'll keep driving you to get through to these people that are so stubborn and don't realize, and they're not even stubborn, it's just lack of education. So I think that's an awesome point, because we forget about that. I'm sure that most people look at Beachbody coaches as if we hop around in front of our cameras doing workouts and drink shakes all day. It's like, you know, but reality is, because they don't know any better, that's probably what they think we do. That's why I try to showcase a different portion of like a mental thing, because I realized a long time ago, I was like, oh, I had people all the time kind of saying that, but that's the world we live in. That's awesome, you guys. Good combo. Any other objections you guys can think of, or that you're getting, like, even if it's a specific conversation that you're struggling with right now, feel free to shoot it out there. No?
Money is the big one.
Money.
Money's the big one, but money is the most exciting one to me. I actually like objections now, because that means that I have to dig deeper into their personal life and like kind of understand where they're coming from, what they got in that situation, and, you know, help them find a solution. Because if you can help someone find a financial solution, they're never going to forget you. And they're going to be posting all over your wall, and you're going to get 15 referrals from that motherfucker. So just remember that. Just to not give up on those people. And I don't mean to call anybody a MFer. Sorry. But okay. Well, it's already 17. So I'm going to go into recruiting. I found this really cool slideshow on Beachbody's website. And you can obviously you can put your own pictures in here, but the one thing I wanted to say about recruiting, and I won't spend too much time on this, but I think recruiting to me used to be this really intimidating thing, because I felt very salesy. I felt very icky. I felt very like, I was so excited about this opportunity, but I didn't know how to put into words. I just knew I wanted other people to feel how I felt. But I felt very stuck for a long time with how to get them to see what I could see. So I just kept doing challenge groups, and I kept inviting, and it worked that way. But I also then wanted rockstar coaches. And I need you guys to know something about recruiting, is that when you start recruiting, I think it's important to first offer people a financial solution to the fact that they want this product and this feeling. So when you're talking to people, when you look at the objections, signing them up as a coach is not bad. It's not a bad thing. Signing someone right off the bat as a discount coach is really signing them up as a preferred customer. So when you're recruiting people, you don't have to use the word coach. You can call them a preferred customer, and you can explain to them that they can get 25% off their products with the fact that they, they're kind of like a flyer miles, or they're like a Southwest person or something like that. Use a different company that gives a lot of perks and just relate that back to Beachbody, because it's saying a lot about the company that they just want people to have a good experience. And then say you could also earn your money back if you choose to. It only takes helping 3 people to earn the cost of your Shakeology, especially if they are saying, I can't afford it. And now that might scare a lot of people away, and they're probably going to go ghost on you. They're either going to do one of 2 things. They're going to ignore you for a while because they're going to think that you're like trying to sell them something, or it's going to stick in their brain and they're going to be like, okay, how do I do that? Or, either way, you've dropped the breadcrumb and you didn't do anything salesy. All you're telling them is you have to help 3 people, just like somebody did to you, to earn your money back. Okay. So you have to get out of your own way with that. So first things first is you want to try to slowly approach the discount proportion. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to pretend like your life is so easy. And another mistake I really made as recruiting coaches is I always tried to make this job sound like it was so much fun. And that's all I highlighted was like the fun piece, and like, oh, it's so fun. But like, dude, it's hard work. And Lindsay Gray was the one to point that out to me, is like, she noticed when she started recruiting people in her business for just fun, those are the people that fell flat on their face because they weren't ready to put in the work. They were like, what? I gotta invite people? Like, whatever. So I think it's important to show the balance of like, if you put in the hard work, that you're gonna get the results. Because you want people like you. You guys on this call have hard work ethics. Your moms, your working jobs, you're doing a lot at the same time. So you want to kind of recruit a tribe like that. So try not to sugarcoat when you're recruiting the fact that it's all fun, but say, it's hard work, but like a lot of people can do it. And I've gotten really good at managing time and showing people like I've just became business savvy all of a sudden, use buzzwords for people. Like, I'm better with time management. I have a better relationship with my husband. I have a better relationship with food. Those are all things that people desire, but they're not necessarily saying like, oh, it's so fun. We get to go to Coach Summit and my coach gets drunk and she like buys me a bunch of stuff. Because that's not going to attract the person that's going to actually hit Success Club with you and ride or die with you and, carry you through the hard times yourself. So use buzzwords that help you overcome the things that coaching really did. Okay. And then another thing that you guys need to know when you're recruiting is that it feels really good to be recruited. And one of the things that I heard on a top coach call, I was listening to a coach call and I can't remember who it was, but I worked as a corporate professional. And one of the things that I know some of you guys are teachers and maybe some of you are in the corporate world. I don't know how many teachers use LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is one of those things that if you need a job, you go on LinkedIn and you start a profile. And if you get hit by like a headhunter or another company because your profile looks all good, like you feel awesome. And somehow you're like researching that company and you like have a better day and you feel good because somebody reached out to you and they thought that you would be of some value to them and their company and they whatever. So guys, I don't know why it took me forever to realize this, but if somebody asked me to join their team and they said, I think you would make a great coach, that is not going to make anybody upset. That is you thinking that you're going to make someone upset. Getting recruited and being asked by somebody to join their team because they have something that is inspiring or something, if you think somebody would be a good coach just by scrolling through the profile and you look at their pictures and you just know, you're like, damn, that person would be a great coach. Tell them why. Get out of your own way and say, hey, listen, I know that this may sound weird to you, but I'm a Beachbody coach. I don't know what you know about my job. I just know that I feel like you would be really great in our culture. I think that you have something that would be aspirational to others. Like if someone said that to me, I'd be like, oh, you're cool. Like don't feel weird about telling somebody that they possess traits that could make them successful. All right. That's the biggest thing I had to get over. I was like, what? Duh. So you're essentially trying to recruit someone. Remember that. Okay. Remember that you are asking them to join them for a reason, and say it too. I don't do this very often, but I could picture me working with you on a team and us like building something really freaking epic. That's what I would say. But I don't know if you use the word epic. Use whatever you would use for yourself. Okay. So this presentation is something that I found, and I just wanted to like tell you guys where I found it. If you have never done like a new coach opportunity call, so what happens? You recruit somebody and you finally get the balls to tell them that you think they would be a great coach, and you think that you guys could run shit together and you could make an amazing life together and create a life by design side by side. So say you did that, but then they're like, okay, I need some more information. Then what? You send them to your coach's page. What do? I think it's important to, if you really want to build a business, to be ready for that and be ready to have something prepared. You can use third-party stuff out there, but if you really want it to be stamped by you, I have a presentation that I've used on my own that I can share with you guys, but I also found this, and this is within Beachbody, and it's just a corporate opportunity. So basically, it takes you through, and you can edit any of this because it's on PowerPoint. If you don't have PowerPoint, I think there's a Google Slide version as well, which is free to anybody. So you talk about yourself. You can just edit this, and you can do like, this is just an example, put pictures up of yourself. Then you can do about me, and you do a bullet point. Like, I have overcome an eating disorder. I have 3, that's more about me, but I am a teacher full time. I am a corporate person. I am a stay-at-home mom, and represent, all these things. And then you can talk about some things in between, but before Team Beachbody, there is a backstory that you can include here. So basically, like, this is the whole timeline, which is really cool. These were all the infomercials developed before they started coaches. And the biggest piece that you want to explain here, and I can help this, if you guys really are serious about using this, I am more than happy to help you through the storyline or send you an example of a storyline that talks about the backstory about how Beachbody was organically grown. But it was because these two guys, Carl and John, started the company through infomercials and then realized that there was a bunch of people getting results. So they put them in an online forum, which is now translated into our challenge group, because they found that people, when they were pairing with others who were successful with like P90X or Slim and 6, that they were like helping each other and they were getting better results. So then John and Carl were like, well, why don't we give these people an incentive and call them coaches versus like distributors or something else? So they never were like, hey, let's get a bunch of distributors and let's make our company super freaking rich. It started organically and it grew to the size that it is today, which is amazing. And it's one of the fastest and largest growing companies that have ever been, like, especially in network marketing, that has ever come into fruition, which is really cool. So that's a really exciting piece to talk about. And you can tell my passion like pouring off my mouth when I said it. That's going to attract people. Since Team Beachbody, you can talk about all the successful programs, how innovative we are, how we're always trying to reach the masses. We're trying to reach every level of mass, every fitness level. And it might seem overwhelming to people, but it's also pretty amazing. What makes Team Beachbody unique? It's literally the whole package. It's fitness, it's nutrition, it's pure sport, and it's rewards. You're rewarded for getting in shape, eating healthy, and making new friends. Like, what? How do you even get paid for that? I still sometimes hear it and I'm like, what? Here's the genuine growth revenue this is only from 2015. I think there's a newer updated one, but over 50% year over year. It's amazing. That says a lot about the company. In 2015, this is how many people were helped. You can talk a little bit about the product, Shakeology. So guys, this stuff, sometimes my point is like, when you put together a presentation, all of you have had jobs. Sorry. You can keep going through this. I don't want to go through every single one, but I'm going to post this for you guys. When you speak about Beachbody in a recorded subject matter or in just to yourself and you practice it, you're more likely to talk about it with people out loud. You're more likely to talk about it with customers. If you keep listening over and over to me talk about it, to videos talk about it, yes, certain things are going to click and everything's going to finally like come together and the wheels are going to turn. But nobody is going to learn better than you doing it yourself. That's one thing I had to learn. I kind of had to like suck it up and just not asking you to create this whole business plan and whatever, but you guys need to know that there's already tools created for us. So if you're ever sitting there and you're like, I don't know what to say in a new coach opportunity call and I want people on my team, like, here's a freaking outline. Here's an outline to use that you can create into your own. You can make it 10 minutes. You can make it 40 minutes. You can make it 2 hours. Do whatever you think is going to attract your vibe, your people, and represent what we stand for as coaches, because as much as they're being attracted to us, it's our platform, and it's our platform that's pretty freaking incredible. So, do's and don'ts. You don't have to be a fitness expert. You don't have to be a nutritionist. This is all stuff that people get scared of. You're overcoming a shitload of objections just by using an outline like this. So I'll share mine with you, and then I will share this presentation. Does that make sense to everybody? I'm sorry. I feel like I've been talking forever. Anybody have any questions or things that kind of like help them with this? Are you guys scared to do that? No. It takes a day. If you have kids or something, I always like this end part where it's like in the next 24 hours after they watch it, because it's always hard to follow up with people. So the person who invited you will follow up. You got to make sure you ask them, like, what did you like most about the presentation? Does Team Beachbody feel like it could a fit that could help you achieve your goals mentally, physically, or financially, whatever? And, what option appeals to you as a coach or customer? And then think about it. Like, what can becoming a coach do for me? Who can you help? Because immediately people start thinking about people they can help. And what are your goals and dreams? Having that first conversation with people. When I start new coaches, one of the first things I ask them is like, what is their ultimate dream in life? I actually asked my mom that not too long ago. And I almost started crying because she said that she never had anyone ask her that her whole life. She says, I can't believe I raised a kid who asked me what my ultimate dream job was or what I could be in my life. And I'm like, that sucks that she's a senior citizen and somebody finally asked her that. That's you guys. That's you guys asking people what is their ultimate dream in life, whether it be to start a foundation for autism or be a veterinarian and adopt dogs. Like, this business opportunity can provide that type of shit for people. That you can make that kind of money to start a dream, not just your dream house, not just your dream car, not just to get out of jobs. It can do so much more than that, which is pretty incredible. All right. So don't forget that gift you have. We have a huge gift to give to people. And all it takes is just telling people that you think they would be great at coaching. It's that simple. Because they would. Okay. Tyson, you'd be good too. Sorry. He's very clingy today. Anyone have any questions or anything? Shh. Quiet. Can you guys hear me? I'm going to turn this off. No? Are you sick of me talking yet? How do I make you bigger? Yeah, I'm going to stop share. Was that helpful? Motivational? Annoying? Awesome?
It's always awesome, Carly, with you.
Oh my God.
No.
I love you. You're my best friend.
Oh, thanks.
Just kidding. No, yes and no, but that's good. I'm glad this helps you guys. Even talking about this stuff helps me too. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, duh. So I know it's hard sometimes because you guys get stuck in mundane places and life gets the best of you, and I'm with you. dude. I get stuck too. I get stuck, and I have to remind myself that I worked my butt off to be here, and that I need to just get out of my own way sometimes, and that's all it takes. As simple as that sounds, it's as simple as that. So, is there anything else I can help with you guys? Oh, last thing. I wanted to do I know we have an open coach group, like a glimpse at coaching. And it's good. It's got some good content. And I just wanted to kind of get your guys' feedback. I mean, I like sneak peeks a lot. I think it's sometimes hard to get everybody together, whether it's be live or we can just run one for a day or two. Would you guys prefer the live sneak peeks or something that's held for 2 or 3 days? Or are you good with the glimpse thing? Or do you need deadlines? Because I'm a deadline person. I don't know.
I like that the group is there. I just keep forgetting that I can invite people to it, because I think with the groups it was okay, I have a group that's starting, glimpse into coaching that's starting on Monday if you're interested. And now I just kind of forget to do that piece.
Yeah. You know what I just thought of that we could do? We could do it this way, where the only reason why I did that is because it was getting strenuous for a bunch of people to
Yeah, I totally get that. But I like that the group is there and it's they can kind of go at their own pace, because I feel sometimes it's overwhelming when you do a 1 hour power hour of coaching, and they're what the hell did I just watch? And then this way they can kind of browse. I mean, it's a little more accountability on your part to make sure that they kind of look through it and everything.
Yeah.
But I think I forget to say, that's an option. Would you like to look at it?
Yeah. No, me too. I really haven't used it much. You know what we could do, though? I'm just thinking about this because ideas come to my brain at the weirdest moments. But maybe we could have one person a week, people that want to recruit, build a team. Because we know that we have certain people in their level of business. Some people are doing this part-time just to get the discount. And then we have other people, maybe you guys, who want to build a team. Maybe once a week or even twice a month or 1 week at the end of the month, we have a different person go in and introduce themselves in that group and say, hey, kind of give everybody a feeler, just say hey, we're so excited that you're in this group. Pick a day so a bunch of people can add their humans, and then somebody just go in and do a welcome video and be hey, welcome to this group. Just want to let you guys know that it's super big deal that you're invited here, because it's somebody that thought they saw something in you that they never saw it in anybody else. And you should be honored because of that. So we created this group to let you know the culture of our team and so on and so forth. We could even make a little script and people, that way we say, hey, we're posting this on the 23rd. Everybody get your people in before the 23rd. And then if they get it in the 24th, it's fine. But at least there's a date in mind to get people recruited before the end of the month and the first month starts, and then we start training. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just an idea.
Do you think it would be bad if you were, I don't know, I'm not super fond of cold invites, but I guess if you know the person and you know that they would be good at coaching and whatever, and you're messaging them, do you think it would be bad at the bottom of it to say there's a group that's going on if you'd like to check it out? Is that too salesy, or is that an okay opportunity for them to respond back and say yes or no thanks, or I don't know?
You know what you could say? This is another thing I watched in that Top Coach recruiting video is, have you ever thought about doing what I do? Like that. And then you leave the door open so they can't just be now they have to answer you. Be nope, sorry, never have. Or they'll be yeah, actually, what the heck do you do? So that might be a good way to say it. I guess it depends on how you want. I don't think it's weird, Jamie. I don't think it's weird to tell somebody that, it is hard because you're oh.
No, do you think it's weird to add in that there's that glimpse into coaching group in that same message?
Not at all. I don't.
I don't feel like that's a cold invite either. If you've been messaging them.
No, I think if you just know them and you haven't really been messaging them, but you know, like the person, it's not like somebody you've never talked to in your whole life, you know, like random people that you've somehow found on Facebook.
I have a lot of those now.
Yeah.
No, it's so cool, right? You're like, oh, is this stranger? Kind of, right?
Yeah.
No, I think that's awesome. Like, just because even if they're like, no, I don't know what that means, at least you're putting it out there for the first time. And then you have forever to go. So why not? I think it's a good call. I'm still going to, but that's another one. If you guys are ever scared to ask somebody, that's a good way of putting it. Like, have you ever thought about doing what I do? I'm like, oh, that takes so much pressure off wording things. So, anyways, figured I would share.
Sorry, I'm like hijacking this. I did.
Go ahead.
Kind of a cold invite, but not really. Like, I've known her for a long time, but we just live in totally different areas and whatever. But I sent her a message because I thought she would be awesome, and she has never responded. Like, I guess I should look and see if she's opened it. I think she has. I think I did look. But, like, do I say anything else? Do I, like, follow up? I don't know. Now I'm like, hey, I know I sent this to you before, but maybe you weren't sure what I was talking about. Would you like to be added to this group?
Say, you're funny. So be like, did I scare you away? Like something like humorous, you know, like, hey, did I scare you? I'm sorry if I like rubbed you the wrong way, but I think you'll phrase it the way that you want, but I don't think it's weird to touch on it again, because she probably, sometimes it's easier to break the ice when you don't talk about it. Just be like, I just want to make sure you know I didn't forget about our conversation. Sorry if I've been a little MIA. Then that kind of like breaks the ice. I do that to people all the time, especially when I actually forget about them. Oh, shoot. I just want you to know I didn't forget about our conversation. So that could be another way.
Yeah, I see that she's read it. But she didn't say anything.
That's really deceiving for us network marketers. Like, it sucks. You're like, come on.
I saw you read it 3 days ago.
Tells you like the time. It sucks.
No, I don't think it does, but
seen 47 minutes and 6 seconds ago. No, I'm kidding. I don't think it says that either. It just says seen, but even worse. Make you feel even more creepy. But it's really just us thinking that. I say did I scare you away thing, and people are like, LOL, no, all the time. I'm like, shit, I'm sorry, did I scare you? But I'm a goofball, so. Okay. All right, guys. Anything else you can think of? I'll run this deadline thing. I mean, we could also just put a deadline out there for ourselves, like every single end of the month or middle of the month, we say, I'm going to recruit this many people. But I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't go that easily. Because what we could do to motivate us is recruit the former, or, oh my God, delete the other welcome video and then put a new one in. So that way it's like fresh every time. And it like tell, 2 to 3 minutes. Hey, this is what you do. Here's where you ask questions. So glad you're here, whatever. And it would give you guys experience too, because I don't mind doing it, but I would love to hear from you guys. You know, you could tell a little bit about yourself. Say, hey, there's my story and the certain, whatever you want to do. I'm down with that. I feel like everybody's really good at speaking, so. Okay. All right. I'll let you guys go. It's getting late. Thank you for jumping on. Always have fun. My water. This LaCroix is very good too. It's cantaloupe and pink grapefruit. Highly recommend. Jamie, especially for mocktails.
I don't like carbonation.
You don't?
What?
That's why I don't like pop.
That's interesting. You know what's funny, Jamie?
LaCroix is like all I drank on vacation. LaCroix and vodka. Sorry. Oh, LaCroix and vodka?
Oh, you were drinking? No, I'm kidding. Mike was just talking about how like people don't like carbonation. I'm like, I don't think I know anybody that doesn't like carbonation. And then he goes, they don't because it makes you bloated. And because and I was like, oh, I guess you're right. And it's so funny because I just said that. Can't wait to tell him. He's going to laugh.
I have just never liked it. Like growing up, we never had pop growing up. And then I think when I did have it, I just didn't like it. So I don't drink pop like ever. And then I don't want carbonated water because I'd rather drink water.
Freaks you out.
Yeah.
Bunch of weirdos, us LaCroix drinkers.
Yeah.
That's cool though. It's probably good for you, James. Something's probably going to happen to all of us carbonated water drinkers.
Hey, you guys do you. I'm just over here drinking my non-carbonated.
I know. That's awesome. Like,
Not before the smart people, though. So
yeah, now everybody knows a fun fact about Jamie.
Yeah. Hey, you didn't know, now you know.
Yep, that's right. I love it. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for jumping on. It was great to see you all. Thanks for coming. And I'll post those presentations. And if you need anything, like especially from those, let me know. And just thankful for all of you. Hope you have a great night, okay?
You too.
thanks, guys. Bye, guys.
No problem. Bye.
Bye.